To today's live stream. My name is Paul Toby. Thanks for joining me here on the Jazz Mental YouTube channel for yet another Saturday masterclass. This one's going to be a little interesting because I'm not actually live. I pre-recorded this. What are we? Monday morning. I leave for the airport in less than an hour. And so what I decided to do was sit down and record this. But I am sitting on the live stream in the chat area. You can see me over there, and I will be answering your questions and pausing this live stream throughout the session so that I can deal with your questions live. So, Paul, future me, say hi to everybody.
Hello, jazz fans. How are you today? It's Paul Toby here. Obviously, what you're listening to is something that I recorded a few days ago before heading off to Florida, but I am here and I'm going to be taking your questions throughout. I'm hanging out in the chat area and I will pause the live stream from time to time to discuss the contents of today's webinar or live stream. So, thanks for being here. I see lots of deeply committed people in the chat. If you're new here, put new in the chat area. I'd like to say hi to you as well. And let's continue with the live stream.
Okay, as you can see, I paused the live stream, and that guy down in the corner is speaking to you. That's actually me. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to play a couple of versions of blues in the key of B flat. And the reason why we're going to do that is because we're going to talk about comping. Now, comping is one of those subjects that I think everybody kind of struggles with sometimes. It's not a question of, maybe struggles the wrong word. Just everybody's trying to make better comping sounds. So I'm going to talk specifically about that, give you some voicings for comping, and maybe even some soloing ideas. So I'll take your questions throughout. Please remember to announce yourself. If you're new, just say, hey, I'm new in the chat area, and I will give a quick shout out to you. And of course, to everyone who is deeply committed and here week to week. I appreciate all of you. Thanks for being here. I will pause for a moment and let the live guy say hello to you.
Okay, well, as Recorded Me said, I'm just hanging out here in the live stream saying hi to everybody. So, Amodi, good to see you. Borgogno from Italy and Allison from New York. Hello to Netherlands, piano person. Lisa from Virginia, Shell from Detroit. And for Alan, thanks for saying hi to Nancy. She is here as well. Rich, good to see you. Ian in Edinburgh. Keith from also Hawaii. Let's get to a few more of you. Esther, nice to see you. Vince, Gerard from Spain, always nice to see you. California, great, nice having you here. And Martin. So yeah, I'm kind of having a little chat between myself here, Martin, and I'm going to continue with the live stream now. But for those of you that are here week to week, I appreciate it. I am currently in Clearwater Beach, Florida. So I'm a different place than I was last week, and I will be back in the studio next week and live where that guy is sitting right now. So I'm going to be back, like I said, in the studio next week. Thanks for being here. Hang out with me for the rest. I'm going to post a link to today's download, which is, I'm going to paste that there. Make sure that I can grab the download link. Is it? No, it's not saved in my thing. I should have done that prior to getting on the live stream, but it's going to be quick. Let's grab it and put it in the chat area. And then I'm going to pin it to the top of the chat. If I can get that working. Why is it not working? Well, for some reason, it doesn't want to pin. I'm not quite sure why that is. Let's see. The little 3 dots beside it don't seem to be helping me much. Anyway, It's there, it's in the chat area, and you can go and download that. Don't do it all at once, it might slow the website down. And I'm going to take Live Me off and continue with the presentation.
All right, let's get down to business. I'm going to share some sheet music with you. I'm going to put a link in the chat area so that you can go and download that. The Live Me is actually doing that. So go and grab your sheet music download. It's actually a two-handed comping version in the key of B flat for blues, and I think it's going to be very helpful to you, and we are going to discuss that throughout. I will put a version of it on your screen right now, just so you can see what you're going to be downloading. So that's B flat blues comping. So I'll take the tune, I think Straight No Chaser. I didn't really have much time to think about this. I just sat down at the piano and thought, you know what, while I'm here, just sitting at the piano, I will play something. And I thought, okay, well, I'll just start the live stream and record it. So let me play Straight No Chaser. We'll see how this comes out. Okay, that's kind of fun. Any thoughts or comments on that particular performance? While not perfect, there were some interesting elements in there. I specifically like some of the ideas around stepping out of the key for a moment, what we call playing outside. And there was several instances of that. I actually, about halfway through, I thought, you know what, let's just do a little playing outside and see how that comes out. There was some fast runs and things in there, but really trying to keep the tempo pretty consistent throughout, even though I don't have bass and drums. Not the easiest thing to do, but I highly recommend that you practice those kind of left-hand bass lines. We might talk about that a little bit here today. Let's throw the sheet music up on the screen and dive right in to what I wanted to talk about today, which was specifically comping. Now, this says B-flat blues comping. The interesting thing is you have to take a look at the chord changes first. Now, you can see that I've actually written in a bass line in the left hand. So it goes like this. Right? It's a sample bass line, not necessarily the one that I would play all the time, but a good sort of example of that. You can see the little upside down hats. If I can highlight that a little bit right here, see the little upside down hat, just whoops, right there. Whoops. In the sheet music, it basically means accent 2 and 4, and that's really what keeps the swing rhythms going. So while we're not going to talk specifically about that bass line, I would definitely recommend that you take a look at it and see if you can filter that into your playing. Now, in terms of comping, when you comp for the blues, what I would suggest first off is that you think about comping on the 2 and 4. So if you take a look consistently throughout, say, the first 8 bars, I'm basically comping on the first beat itself. I mean, you could actually comp ahead of the beat. I could have put a pickup measure there and comped on the and of 4, but basically 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. Okay, so keeping the comping pretty much consistently on 2 and 4 is obviously a really good idea. Now, in terms of the voicing itself, I've given you some different examples. Take a look at the first one. Typically what I like to do, at least for if you're just getting into comping, is to suggest to players that they play the tritone in the left hand. Blues is really all about 5/7 to 4/7, sorry, 1/7 to 4/7 back to 1/7. So B flat tritone is this, and then in the right hand you can play anything really from the scale that you want. In this case, I'm playing the 5th, the 13th, and the 9th. And then when I go up to E flat 7, I'm playing the tritone in the left hand, G, B flat, and then in the right hand, I'm playing this chordal voicing. So you can see this is voiced in fourths. There's a perfect 5th here, or sorry, perfect 4th, and then another perfect 4th on top of that. So one more time, B flat 7, and then back to B flat 7. And then when I get to the E flat 7 on the second line on bar 5, I'm switching up the voicing a little bit and just playing 5ths in the right hand, which is the 9th and the 13th, and then the tritone in the left hand. And then I'm switching up the B flat 7 voicing, going down to this tritone. So instead of this inversion, it's this one with the 3rd in the bottom, and then playing this chord. So B flat 7 with the 9th, the 3rd is here, and then the 13th. So whether you're playing this version, the notes are the same, you're just playing different inversions. That's an interesting thing. If you were actually comping for a solo and you decided to hang out on B flat for a while, you could actually do this. Okay, so learn these different inversions. It's always a good idea to kind of study these different types of voicings, fourths, fifths, things like that. They're kind of open voicings. Clusters are more like this, which is kind of fun, especially if you're playing monk. You noticed I probably played a few of those. And then, move the left hand to help with the comping, with the rhythm, actually. Right? Clusters are closer together.
I just wanted to pause that for a second. For those of you that are familiar with the tune Straight No Chaser, one of the things that I think is important and what Monk intended, if you actually listen to what I'm doing with both hands on those accents, it's important to catch them. It's kind of like what we call shots, and obviously that's different than the kind of shots that you would get with alcohol, but it's it's something that you catch with both hands. You'll notice that I'll plunk down a bass note, and then with my left hand, I'll join the right hand in playing those shots. So throughout this presentation, just kind of listen to the opportunities to catch those shots. And I think that's one of the most important things about the tune. All right, let's go back and listen some more.
But the compings on your screen are really these open voicings, which kind of are nice. Not kind of, I think they are nice. Any comments or suggestions about these voicings? I'm pretty sure they're standard or stock voicings. Many of you have done these before. Just let me know in the comments section what you think about them. I'm just going to take the sheet music off the screen for a moment, and what I want you to do is just focus on my hands. The sheet music was a little messed up in terms of its form, so we're going to give you the download, which is actually better than the one that was shown on your screen. But anyway, I'm going to continue with this because what you need to do now is when you get to the last 4 bars, so basically it's 4 bars of B flat. Well, actually, it's 1 bar of B flat, 1 bar of E flat, back to B flat for 2 bars, and then to E flat for 2 bars, which is, some kind of voicing, and then back to B flat, and then a 2-5-1 of C, and then a 2-5-1 of B flat. 2 3 4, 2 3 4, 1 6 2 5 1. Okay. So let me do that one more time. 1 2 3. So of course you know that the form in the key of B flat is 1 bar of B flat, 1 bar of E flat, 2 bars of B flat, 2 bars of E flat, and you could put an E half diminished 7th chord in here, 1 bar, and then 1 bar of B flat, and then a 2-5 of C minor, and then 1 bar of C minor, or 2 minor, to 5-7, back to 1 6 2 5. Let's do that one more time. 1 2 2 1 2 4, flat 5 diminished, 1 2-5 of C, which is 3 6 2 5 1 6 2 5. One more time. 1 2 4 1 4, flat 5 1 3 6 2 5 1 6 2 5 1. Okay. So you
Just wondering if Some of you have different changes for, I noticed that Ben put, how about a B diminished chord in bar 8? I mean, you can use chord substitutions and you can put passing chords pretty much anywhere you like. But what I just showed you, and if you want me to repeat it, I can actually go back a little bit. But what I just showed you was the standard 12-bar blues progression for jazz players, because obviously we want to use as many 2/5s as possible. We want those passing chords. I specifically like the E diminished seventh chord, which happens just before bar 9. And yeah, let's keep going.
You can see that when you get to the last 4 bars, do a 2/5 of C minor before that in 1 bar. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then C minor. So when you do the 2/5 of C minor, which is 3 half diminished seventh. So what I like to do there is you still have a tritone.
Yeah, so the question is from Alan, please state exactly what other version Paul is playing in measures 9 to 12. So that's the last 4 bars of the tune. So essentially what I'm doing is playing 3, 6 for the first bar, 2, 5 for the second bar, and then 1, 6, 2, 5 on the last 2 bars. So one more time. On bar 9, I'm playing for 2 beats each. Hang on a second. Let me think about this. I'm playing 2 for 1 bar, 5 for another bar, and then the last 2 bars is 1, 6, 2, 5. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Let's keep going.
There, which is the same tritone as B flat 7, but instead of B flat 7, it's 2 minor 7 flat 5, right? 1, 3, flat 5, and 7. To G7, and the tritone is here. So what I like to do is play this in the left hand for D half diminished seventh, and then in the right hand, anything from the B flat scale. Or sorry, from the E flat 7 scale. No, I was correct the first time. B flat 7. So you can play anything. And then when you get to G7, here you have to make sure that the third is covered with the tritone in the left hand. And then in the right hand, you can play pretty much white notes, or you can play flat 9. So here's our D half diminished seventh to G7. And in the right hand, you can maybe do like 5, flat 7, flat 9. Okay, or you can play fourths. Okay, and then we're getting to C minor. So when you get to C minor, throw this in the left hand, which is 1, 4, and then flat 7. And then in the right hand again from the B flat scale, B flat 7 scale. It's anything in fourths. And then when you get to F7, you can do the same thing you did with F7 before, which is basically anything with the tritone in the left hand, and then anything from the B flat 7 scale as well. Works really well. Or you can catch the third in the right hand like this for an F7 scale, and then down to B flat. 6, 2, 5. On the 5 chord, before you get back to 1, I sometimes like the tritone substitution here, which is B7, and then the sharp 11 in the right hand here. So let's try some comping.
All right, before I move on, I'm just going to deal with Alan's question because there seems to be a little bit of confusion. And I wouldn't, if I were you, refer to the download at this moment. The download is meant as, and it's not a strict 12 bar blues in the download. And that's my bad, because when I actually left for Florida, I didn't actually look at that sheet music in detail before I left. And I don't have the ability to change it here because I don't have notation software on this laptop, which I'm currently streaming from. So for everyone that's downloaded the sheet music today, here's what I'm going to make this promise to you, and I've already made a note of this, is that when I get back, which will be basically this week, so I'll be back on Tuesday and then be back in the office working on Wednesday. Sometime between Wednesday and next live stream, which will be Saturday in the studio, I'm going to send you another version of the download. So again, you've got one now. Use the comping specifically for the chords that are mentioned. In the 12 bar blues that I'm talking about right now, it's not the same arrangement that you're downloading. So I'm going to send you one for the 12 bar blues with additional comping or some similar comping so that you can use that as well. So there's basically going to be two downloads, the one you've just downloaded and the one that I'm going to send you by the end of this week. So basically look for it in your inbox Wednesday to Friday. So unfortunately, I was really strapped for time. I went home from Florida for one day to attend my son's baby shower, or he would have disowned me. And then I came back to Florida and I did this recording because I thought, you know what? It's good to have some playing and good to have a discussion and good to have a recording. But I only had like less than an hour to do it before I had to leave for the airport on, what was it? I think it was Monday morning. Okay, so I'll sort it out for all of you. I'm sorry if there's any confusion. Please, I would just pay attention to what I'm talking about on the screen. If you have any questions about that, you can ask them. But don't refer specifically to the download for what I'm talking about right now. So I'm just going to just rewind it a couple of seconds and then we'll continue from that point. So let's just go back to, where are we? Go here, see how that works.
All right, sorry, B flat 7.
I'm going to have to go back a little
And you
bit
can
more.
sidestep these chords too. That's the last 4 bars. Do a 2-5 of C minor before that in one bar. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then C minor. So when you do the 2-5 of C minor, which is 3 half diminished 7th. So what I like to do there is you still have a tritone there, which is the same tritone as B flat 7, but instead of B flat 7, it's 2 minor 7 flat 5, right? 1, 3, flat 5, and 7. To G7, and the tritone is here. So what I like to do is play this in the left hand for D half diminished 7th, and then in the right hand, anything from the B flat scale. Or sorry, from the E flat 7 scale. No, I was correct the first time. B flat 7. So you can play anything. And then when you get to G7, here you have to make sure that the third is covered with the tritone in the left hand. And then in the right hand, you can play pretty much white notes, or you can play flat 9. So here's our D half diminished 7th to G7. And in the right hand, you can maybe do like 5, flat 7, flat 9. Okay, or you can play fourths. Okay, and then we're getting to C minor. So when you get to C minor, throw this in the left hand, which is 1, 4, and then flat 7. And then in the right hand again, from the B flat scale, B flat 7 scale, it's anything in fourths. And then when you get to F,
I think it's important here. So basically what we're doing is we're on the last 4 bars of B flat blues. So 2, 5 of 1. So C minor. What I always recommend to people is that no matter what voicing you choose, just play notes from the scale. And what works really well, and we've talked about this with the advanced people, is that you would voice your chords in both hands, not just one hand, but both hands in fourths. So when you're just taking notes out of the scale, so for example, the scale for C minor is C, D, E flat, F, G, A, B flat, and C. One more time, C, D, E flat, F, G, A, B flat, and C. And you're just separating those notes with both hands in fourths. So you're just playing up and down the scale in fourths. And that's one way, what I find a very efficient way and a very simple way to remember how to comp, for example, on a C minor chord. So we're currently on the last 4 bars, C minor to F7, and then 1, 6, 2, 5 of B flat. So let's continue.
F7, you can do the same thing you did with F7 before, which is basically anything with the tritone in the left hand, and then anything from the B flat 7 scale as well works really well. Or you can catch the third in the right hand like this for a F7 scale, and then down to B flat. 6, 2, 5. On the 5 chord, before you get back to 1, I sometimes like the tritone substitution here, which is B7, and then the sharp 11 in the right hand here. So let's try some comping. So the original comping was this on F7, B flat 7. And you can sidestep these chords too. That's one added element you can do. So you got B flat 7 to E flat 7. Keep the same chord in the right hand. That's kind of fun. Or you can change it up if you want to. But when you get back to B flat 7, just go up half step. Get this chord back to B flat 7. So. And this is our B flat 7 chord. And then our 2, 5, 1. D half diminished 7th, or some kind of voicing like this, to G7, flat 9, to C minor, F7, B flat 7, G7, sharp 5, to F, C minor, to F7, flat 9, or B7, B7 sharp 11, which is the tritone substitution. So let's do this one more time. I'll try to play it slowly. 1, 2, and I'll talk you through the chords while I do it. In other words, which number of the scale we're on. So it's 1, 4, 5. You get the idea. Instead of saying B flat 7 to E flat 7, I'm going to go 1, 4, 5, 3, 6, 2, 5, 1, that kind of thing. 1, 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 to 4 to 1 back to 4 to, oh, I forgot this chord, which is what we're calling an E diminished chord. So let's do that one more time. I'll try to catch it when we go this time. So 1, 4, 1, back to 3, 2, 5, 1, 6, 2, 5, 1, 4, 1, 4, flat 5, or this chord here, flat 5, E diminished to 1, to 3, to 5, to 1, 2, 5, 1, 6, 2, 5, back to 1. So I hope you picked out some of those voicings. If you have any questions about those, just put them in the chat area, and of course I'll pause this video and the live guy will respond to your questions live. Again,
like I'm doing right now, the live guy. I think everybody is following along. I mean, it's a good idea to obviously, if you want and you're really interested in these voicings, you can watch the replay, pause it, rewind it, watch it as many times as you need to. I mean, obviously, you have to be deeply committed to this type of comping in order to learn from it. But in the short time that we have, which is basically an hour or less, I'm trying to at least give you a framework for great comping. When I send the download by the end of this week to make up for the fact that the current one you have is a little bit confusing, I will make sure that it is this 12 bar blues that we're talking about, and it will have exact comping ideas in that download. I don't think I'm going to have really the time to do more than one chorus, but at least you'll have a very, very solid, very advanced guideline on how to comp for B flat blues. And you can look forward to that. Thanks, by the way, for those of you that are hanging out in the chat and writing your questions. I'm reading everything as it goes by, which I don't normally get to do because, of course, I'm at the piano, but this is a little bit different. So anyway, thanks for chatting over there. I'm still there, and let's continue with the
I'm going to try to make sure that the sheet music that you downloaded at the beginning of the session is the correct one, and it has these voicings in it, which I didn't actually have ready. I thought I had them in that sheet that I first showed you, but it was kind of messed up in terms of form, and I didn't really understand what was happening here, what I was thinking even when I put it together. But anyway, I'll make sure you get a better one. So by the time you take a look at it, or anyway, by the time I take a look at your questions in the chat and respond to those live, we're pretty much getting to the end of this session. So I'm just going to play the tune one more time, and then we'll come back and discuss some of the ideas that I played in this version. So again, we're playing Straight Note Chaser in not the standard key. The standard key for Straight Note Chaser is F, but I decided to do this session in B flat just to give you some comping ideas in the key of B flat.
Just before I play, I'm wondering if, and you can ask me throughout, I mean, obviously there's a little bit of delay between what you write and what's being played. So I play something, you're only hearing it like 16 to 20 seconds later. So, but if you ask me to stop it during the performance, I can stop it and I can talk a little bit about what it is you want to know about that section. I may actually do it myself. So what I'm asking you is, would it be helpful, because I'm probably playing, I don't remember exactly, but it's probably like, I don't know, 9-10 choruses of B flat blues and soloing. Would you find it helpful if I just paused it now and then, and this just sort of talked about what I did in that moment, let me know before I start it, and I will attempt to do that. So I'm going to wait for your answers on that. And by the way, for those of you who I didn't say hi to in the chat, I did mention a lot of you earlier, and for those that have joined since then, I'm just a quick shout out. Thanks for being here. I'm just waiting for a response from someone because, of course, there's that delay that I talked about. I'm just waiting for a response before I play. Just let me know if you want me to pause it throughout the performance and just talk briefly about what I'm doing at that time. And by the way, Modi, the replay link is exactly the same for the live. So the YouTube. Okay, I will pause. Thanks for the feedback on that. Would like you to, so more than one person is getting back to me on that. All right, let me do that. And like I said, for Modi's question, the replay link is exactly the same link as the live video. And by the way, if you want to find anything from past live streams or this live stream, all you have to do is go to the Jazz Mental YouTube channel and hit the live button, which is one of the links in the menu, and then you'll find the replay there. Okay, let's take this off and let's play the recording, and I'll stop every now and then and discuss what's actually happening. Yeah, so I'm actually just going to pause it there for a second because it jumped for me, and I think that's because I'm trying to do all of these things with this little laptop computer, which isn't quite keeping up with the stream as much as it should. So I'm just gonna basically close a couple of windows, and hopefully that'll help a bit, because maybe it's just overdoing it a bit and causing the actual performance to be a little jumpy. So I'm going to go back to the beginning of that. Hopefully I can find it quickly. Let me see if I can do that. This and then that.
And welcome to today's live stream. My name is
whoops. I need to
Toby
go
here on the Jazz Mental YouTube channel for
ahead
yet another Saturday masterclass.
to this
Back
point.
to B flat 7. So I'm just going to play the tune one more time, and then we'll come back and discuss some of the ideas that I played in this version.
Okay, here we go.
So again, we're playing Straight No Chaser.
Not
the standard key. The standard key for Straight No Chaser is F.
It's interesting because in OBS there's an area where there's a time section, and it tells me how much time is left in the presentation, but it's so small. It's like little tiny thing, and you can't go back 10 seconds, forward 10 seconds. You kind of actually have to find the thing. So anyway, we're at this point, so let's keep going.
But I decided to do this session in B flat just to give you some comping ideas in the key of B flat.
So just before that next chorus of solo starts, I'm not sure if you heard it, but there's quite a bit of playing outside of the key. And one of the ways to do that easily, and you really have to think about this in terms of the chords going by. You can't really, you can't really just not think of the chords. You have to keep that left hand going and the chords functioning normally. But in the right hand, one thing that obviously, if you want to play outside, one thing that stands out that you could easily use is what we call the whole tone scale. So if you actually looked at it, the scale would be B flat, C, D, and E. One more time, that's the first four notes. B flat, C, D, and E, which obviously E is outside of the key of the moment, the key of the moment being B flat. So E is not, I mean, it's normally an E flat. So right away, that's going to sound a little more dissonant than normal. And then to finish off the whole tone scale is G flat or F sharp, then A flat, which is part of the B flat 7 chord, and then back to B flat. So one more time, the whole scale, basically just 6 notes. B flat, C, D, E, and then F sharp, A flat, and then you get to B flat. So that's what I did there. Actually, try to listen for that a few times. Watch my hands as much as possible and see if you can hear the whole tone scale. And I might actually play another whole tone scale, but it's one of the ways to sound outside without actually thinking too much, which is really the point that I'm trying to make. I mean, obviously, I don't think too much when I'm playing anyway, but I'm just in the moment, it's probably one of the easier things to do to sound outside. Just going to pause it there. I think there's a couple of points. So it says you switch into the left-hand walking bass very effortlessly to get that fluency. I guess we need to practice the walking bass round and round the form. That's absolutely correct. One of the things that I always recommend if you practice left-hand bass, especially with B-flat blues, practice the same one. I mean, I don't really think about it too much when I'm playing. You can clearly hear, like you said, it just, I'm playing chords, I'm playing shots, and then it just switches back into this walking bass line. I'm not thinking too much about the notes that I'm playing, they just come effortlessly. But the only reason that happens is over the years, I've probably practiced the same walking bass line for B flat blues probably like 10,000 times, just the same one over and over and over again. And what happens is you get this fluency in your left hand that plays ball with the right hand from a rhythmic perspective. You'll notice that the rhythm stays fairly consistent and constant. I'm not doing a lot of speeding up. I'm not doing a lot of slowing down. I'm just staying with the rhythm because over time I have this internal clock that keeps it going. But it's all based on that left hand walking bass line that's been practiced like 10,000 times. So thanks for the question. I appreciate that. Or the comment. Okay, there is a lot of playing outside there. I'm gonna see if I can 321. going to see if I can just go back a bit. I wish there was a way to easily do this. Well, I'll point it out when we get to it, but whoa, wrong way. Hmm.
And welcome to today's live stream. My
This
name is
isn't
Paul.
working out very well. I'm trying my best here. Give me a second. 28, 22. Okay, hope. Oh, it's back from there. So that whole thing, by the way, if you and I'm not gonna move it back because every time I do that, I kind of get it messed up a little bit because it's not precise the way that OBS works. So anyway, if you watch that run, like the really long sort of like 16th notes in a row, that was just B flat blues scale. It's one of the easiest things to do is just play the blues scale and just kind of run it as quickly as possible. It may look impressive, but it's actually not that difficult to do. All right, let's keep going.
Well, that was rough for Monday morning. I actually have to leave for my flight in about 10 minutes. So I'm just going to stop the recording. The live guy is going to say goodbye to you, but from my home studio on a break from coming back for basically one day from Florida, I'm heading back in just a few hours. So I'm going to get on the plane and grab this recording and make sure that it is set for the Saturday live stream. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with me.
Yeah, I don't want to make it seem like I got to go, but I'm just looking for a little bit of feedback. I can play the whole thing again. I know that we interrupted it and then I tried to go back to a specific spot and I didn't really get back to that spot and then I was going to point out something. But what I could do is maybe play it again one more time, that last performance, if you want to. If you're cool with it, that's fine. You can watch it during the replay. But what I could do is this time I could play it all the way through, but just come on every now and again and just make a short comment on what I actually did. So if anybody wants me to do that, we have the time for it, and I could go and do that as well. We got like 5 minutes left, so it's just about enough time to play it one more time. And then, like I said, I can just basically do a voiceover while it's playing. I'm not going to stop it, pause it, move it back, but I could just make little comments as we go through it. Would that be helpful to you? Please let me know. Thanks for the comments, by the way. It says very nice sound. Okay, replay and comment. Okay. All right, let's do that. Some people will catch the replay, that's fine. But for those of you that want to stick around, I'm going to go back and do it one more time. And then what I'll do is I'll come on and make some comments as we go. So let's see if we can get back to the point where I start to play. There. Listen to the left hand get involved with the rhythm. There's that whole tone scale I talked about. Did you hear the syncopation in the left hand? Little ostinato pattern is always nice in blues. That wasn't whole tone scale, but it was playing outside. Little chromatic patterns. Syncopation, ostinato. Pretty much just straight bebop lines there in that chorus. Little Oscar lick there. Yeah, chromatics, Bill Evans. There's that blues pattern that I talked about earlier. That was fourths going up and chromatics coming down. Stick on F. Yeah, so that's kind of fun just to sort of comment on a few things as we're going by. I appreciate you all hanging out with me here today. I am back, like I said, in the office on Wednesday, and I will make sure that for everyone who downloaded today's uh, link, that's great. I'm going to send you another one just to kind of make up for the fact that there was some discrepancies between the sheet music from today and what I actually wanted to do. And then one more thing I wanted to do is there is an insider's deal that's on page 3 of your download today. And what it is I what did I do with the link? I closed that window for some reason. I'm not quite sure why I did that. But it's in your email, Basecamp. And the coupon code is there. But basically what it is the three most popular downloads from our website are this, and this is in order of popular. Take Five was number one, and it's like a 9-page transcription of a solo. And then Shadow of Your Smile is the second most popular. And then the third most popular is Misty. So what I've done for today is I've combined all of those and I just posted it at the bottom of the chat here. And I can actually probably pin it to the top. Maybe I figured out how to do that earlier. Oh no, it's covered up again for some reason. I don't know why it's doing that. Oh, wait. Pin. Replace pin message. Okay, so I just put the link at the top of the chat. The coupon code is 3 most popular for one. So basically, for the price of one piece of sheet music, we're going to give you 3. And it's a way to support the YouTube channel and help us keep going, doing what we're doing. So there you go. It's also in the email that I sent you with today's download. And for those of you that did download, I promise you that I will send you another one before the end of the week. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with me today. I super appreciate it. I will see you back in the studio live next Saturday. I'm going to be that guy who's actually on the screen at the moment. And I'm not exactly sure what the subject will be, but if somebody wants to shoot me an idea by email throughout the week, I'm always looking for great ideas to host master classes on. If you wanted to talk about a specific tune, we can do that. If you want to talk about a specific jazz rhythm or anything to do with becoming a better jazz pianist, I would appreciate anyone dropping me a line and letting me know what you want to talk about because I like new ideas. Oh, right, before I go, I forgot all about the draw for this week's quartet app. So I can't believe I didn't queue that up. So hang on a second. Let's do that. And let me grab I need to grab the actual files of all the people that have joined. I forgot so much to do that. I can't believe. Thanks for pointing that out, by the way. I appreciate that. And we've got a stall here on this side. So let me see if I can quickly, it's just running slowly. I'm almost there. The computer is running very slowly because of course it's trying to do all of these things at once. And I need the master list for quartet. There we go. Let's random number generate. And I need the total list because I updated this before the session today with new people who are listed. And good luck to you if you're one of the people who are actually signed up for the Quartet app. Oh my goodness, running so slowly. Just trying to get the total number here. Scroll. Okay, there we go. Go back here. And the winner to this week is 33, another low number. And that is, scroll, John Fraser, Frazer, from CA. That's either, well, I think that's Canada.
California.
Oh, is it? No, these are countries codes. So John Fraser from Canada, hey, home country. So congratulations. I'll be reaching out to John by email with your download codes that you need to grab the free Quartet app. So again, if you're not registered, there's one more draw next week. I will be back in the studio doing that draw live. And there you go. So Rich, thanks for pointing that out. I was not thinking about that one for some reason. And yeah, John Fraser from Canada. And thanks for doing that. And if you're in the draw for next week, we'll see you then. Thanks for hanging out with me, everybody. It's been a pleasure, and I wish you great jazz and cool music throughout the week, and I'll see you again. Same time, same place next Saturday. Actually, not the same place for me. I'll be back in the studio. Anyway, congrats to John Fraser, number 33, and we will see you next week.